The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and we pick things up. S&P's up by 7 points right now, trading at 6,017. NASDAQ 100 up by 28 points, trading at 21,850. You get the Dow basically flat right now, and the Russell positive by 10 points, trading at 2157. We jump around to yields. You get the 10-year right now. A little bit of higher price, lower yield. We're talking about the 10-year up by 7 ticks. Put it on a 15-minute. You see the move from Thursday, Friday jobs number, lower price, higher yield. We're coming back a bit, 4.45. It's amazing the moves that we're getting in yields right now. 5 basis points like it's nothing, right? Let alone 25 or 50 basis points. The 10-year, 4.45, so a little bit lower yield. That's leading to a little bit of weakness in the dollar, a little bit of lower yield. A little bit of dollar weakness. Dollar 98.88, back below that 99. Look at the moves in the dollar, right? Just from where we were at about 3 a.m. Eastern Time, the dollar trading at 98.88 with some dollar weakness. Gold at the top end of its range in the last 24 hours, but gold right now just up by $3 at 33.58. We jump over to silver. Up by 3 pennies, trading at 36.82. We jump over to the crude market, continuing to catch a bid. Crude up by 29 pennies, 65.58 this morning. You jump over to copper, pushing 491. Copper continuing to bump up against that 495 to $5 area. You take a look longer term at copper. Let's back it up even more than that. You get these highs out here in copper. And we love metal stocks, right? Some of these metal stocks, of course, copper, they're trading off it. And look at these technical areas, okay? If you're trading copper, man, you got highs out here. I was looking at this last night from 2021, almost to the penny of where we are right now. You back it up to 2022, $5 is the number. Back it up to 2024, it got above $5 for 2 weeks. You back it up to earlier this year, you got to $5.37, and before you knew it, you were at $4. We're pushing $5 yet again at $4.91 on copper right now. All right. Let's jump around and let's talk a little bit of price and volume. So you want some volume? You want some price and volume? You know we do, right? Well, folks, we got no volume whatsoever yesterday. Now, this bar here, all right, I'm going to take it off, but that's going back to basically where that selling began, late February. Yesterday's bar, folks, did 843,000 contracts in the S&P, okay? For context, you got to go back. I don't think it's anywhere on this chart. It's not. Let's go back even a little further. 843. I don't know where 843 is. Christmas Eve? I think it might be the lowest volume day since Christmas Eve. Somebody find me on the S&P futures. I think it is. I was looking at it this morning. Forgive me, day after Christmas. Lowest volume day in the S&P futures since December 26th and December 24th. Okay? Riding on fumes at this price level. And that's off a day where you did 1.2 the prior day. But yeah, 843,000 contracts yesterday. Lightest volume days since Christmas. Same exact thing in the NASDAQ. Okay, look at it. 352,000 contracts traded in the NASDAQ 100. Now, yeah, you had 408 when we were peaking out May 5th. What did I say, 352? Yeah, 352. Nowhere in this chart. Lowest volume day, same deal on the NASDAQ 100. Probably going back to around the holidays, the Christmas, New Year holiday. We got low volume. And you got low volume coming into an area with massive volume, okay? And, you got to consider the magnificent, and I've talked about it many times, but this is not a coincidence, in the market getting a little bit airy on fumes right now, and we're coming right up to the beginning of the selling. And here's the thing. Market sentiment was radical selling. Now things have changed, okay? Smart money got ahead of the trade lower on Liberation Day. There's still a wall of worry up here that began at 6,000. You got selling, taking risk off in this market. So where are you? You're at the back of the top of that range, okay? And yeah, we got a little bit of uncertainty in this market. And to have that little volume that you're not talking about all year, folks, it's June. Lowest volume day of the year yesterday, running on fumes. We'll see where we go from there. All right. We check in on Apple. So Apple, so much for the Worldwide Developer Conference. How about that one? Kaboom, from 205 to 200, just like that, 2.5%. And right now we're a little bit lower in the pre-market to 201. Not sure what the market was looking for, but that was a software demonstration yesterday. And yeah, there's some pretty cool facts of software coming down the line. When you talk about AI, they're playing defense, but they're not exactly playing offense, is how I saw one article talking about it this morning. And they may not necessarily have to. We'll see. But nonetheless, Apple shares lower on Worldwide Developer Conference yesterday. You jump over to Google shares. Catching a bid. Continuing. Google. Slightly in the green right now, but quite a charge higher to almost 178 overnight. Meta. How about Meta? Meta to 702. One of the articles I got pulled up. And you know Zuckerberg, man. He goes all in. And yeah, he's personally recruiting a super intelligence AI team. It's remarkable, right? You go from the metaverse to AI. They're all intertwined, and I think he knows that. He's assembling a team of experts to achieve AI intelligence recruiting from a brain trust of AI researchers and engineers who've met with him in his homes in Lake Tahoe and Palo Alto. He's frustrated with Meta's shortfalls in AI. I mean, what was the news yesterday I was talking about, right? This guy, he is quite a relentless charge. $10 billion was the number I was talking about yesterday that they're going to finance for a company in AI, scale AI, something like that. And yeah, now he's talking about 50 people for a new team, including a new head of AI research. Almost all he's recruiting personally. You know, I saw a clip from Zuckerberg once, and I thought it was a great clip. And he said, man, you're trying to find all these people, right? Who are you hiring? As somebody that's running a company like he's hiring, who are you hiring? And he'd say, I try and hire people that I would work for on the flip side of it. Boy, who are those 50 people he's going to bring in that he would work for? Talk about a team that he's trying to put together. But check out Meta, up another $8 right now in the pre-market, 702. We had a high of 705 yesterday. And yeah, you're just off the highs of 740. Let's check out the volume. Not bad volume yesterday. Yeah, 12.7 as we've extended. And that's what you like to see. Decent volume on this trade higher, right? We're trading lower, and then we get explosion in volume as Meta trades higher. That's not what's going on in these indices right now. All right, these indices have lackluster volume. We haven't had a day of strength since May 12th, really. You know, this day of strength, that was on lighter volume on May 27th. The day of strength we got on, what, Friday? Jobs Friday? Yeah, lackluster volume. And yesterday's volume, lowest volume day of the year. Watch out, baby. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll come back. We'll talk some streamers. You got Netflix. They're cutting 3% of the U.S. workforce. On the heels of Warner Brothers Discovery breaking things up. Look at that action yesterday. Check that Stanley Cup Finals Game 3 on last night. Florida up 2-1 over Edmonton. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and technique to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the morning market kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 9 right now. Interesting to see what kind of volume we get coming into the action on a very light day yesterday. Apple, a little bit lower after their day yesterday, but your market's picking things up in the green right now. We jump back to yields. So we have a 10-year auction today. You get the 30-year auction in focus tomorrow. Yields, a little bit of a reprieve, but keep your eye out for those, and especially the 30-year when you're talking about that 30-year coming in for tomorrow. Excuse me. All right, we jump around. So Taiwan Semi, they're up about $4 right now. And yeah, they said chip maker saw their revenue in May, 39.6% increase from last year. Revenue in January through May, 42%. Man, these chips, right? Just remarkable. Jump over to Tesla. Tesla catching a bid, up by $7 from $308 to $315 right now. And check out some of the other streamers. So, Warner Brothers splits yesterday. Careful of buying that acceleration. I mean, imagine, they're struggling with Max right now. And their plan is they're going to break it up in half. As I was telling you, I love Max. But guess what? I think I was watching the NHL Finals game on Max again last night. They're going to split up the cable networks, TNT, etc., from HBO and the streaming. And yeah, the market sends it lower. Warner Brothers basically flat in the pre-market. Netflix shares right now trading at 12.25, and yeah, Paramount. So they're laying off 3% of their workforce. I have it up there? No, I had it up here. Forgive me. Come on, where are we? There we are. Yeah, so talk about cost cutting. 3.5% is the number. So they got notified this morning. And yeah, they're in the process of going through the regulatory approval with Skydance Media. So in August, Paramount began the process of reducing their U.S.-based workforce by 15% is the number. And they're adding, but the market not really reacting this morning. Basically flat at $12. All right, we jump around to some other movers. Palantir, how about it, man? Thursday, you drive down to 117. You're trading at 131 right now. Slightly red, but quite an acceleration. Robinhood right now, trading basically flat, 73.56. Volatile as well. We jump around some of the banks this morning. JP Morgan, trading at 266. Jump around. Bank of America, trading at 45 almost. Wells Fargo, no more asset cap, trading at 76.50. Let's jump out to the airlines. All right, Delta's making a run at these highs you had May 12th. Look at this volume, though, right, in the market. That's not how you're going to break these highs, folks, okay? Check out Delta. Perfect example, right? That doesn't mean you can't take it out with volume, but yesterday's action, the day before's action, that's not how we're going to break above these highs from May. You're up there on Delta for 18.9 million, 14 million, and 13.8. Yesterday, we did 6.3. Day before, we did 7.5. There's not as many people in the store, and the prices are going up, folks. That's what my dad would say. American Airlines. Yeah, look at this volume. Same deal. A lot of volume on this first acceleration higher. Not so much the case coming up. United. Now, these volumes at the highs you're coming into on these airlines. 12 million. We got a high out there of 84.85. Yesterday, we hit 85.80. And you reject that with a little volume, actually. And that's even more worrisome, right? Not only do we get up there with no volume, you get up there, you turn around, you do it. Yeah, watch out for these airlines, man. Those volumes, it's quite a bounce. And even a Fibonacci level right now, yeah, not quite to the 618, but above the 50% of that move lower. And that's all going on this year. All right, let's see what else we got pulled up. Yeah, how about CoreWeave as well, man? Meme stock comparisons as shares soar. Now, the CoreWeave deal, okay? Man, oh, man. You remember them pushing? Yeah, this is, I had to rewind my head going, is this, what are we talking about for market cap now? $76 billion? Whew. You better be treating this thing like a meme stock, folks. Okay? Do you remember the headlines when they were pushing CoreWeave out to the public, where they basically had to allow NVIDIA to come in with a guaranteed buy to get that thing out the door? And meanwhile, you're up from $40 to 160, quadrupling in price over that time. Many articles written over the time, folks. They got a lot of chips that are outdated, and they're going to need to spend a tremendous amount of capital. And try and think about the cycle that you push out a company into earnings, right? Into public, into being a publicly traded company. You don't push your company out to the public after you've spent a tremendous amount on capital, and then you're going to reap the rewards for that capital expenditure in the years to come. Great time to push your company out to the public when you spend a bunch on capital expenditure, you boost your earnings over a tremendous period of time on that CapEx, and then you reach the point in time where you say, you know what, we got to spend some more on CapEx and up our chips again. That's going to bring down our earnings in the near term. Wait, before we do that, let's push this out to the public while the earnings are still great. Then we'll reload on the CapEx after we go public, push the paper out to the public, and that'll hit us on the earnings. That was my take going through this when it went public. So that was being skeptical at the valuations of the IPO, which Wall Street was as well. Doesn't mean you can't trade to wild levels, but pay attention to those. And Palantir, yeah, they're having quite a bubblicious run as well, but I don't compare that to CoreWeave right now. You know, they got governmental contracts in a big way. CoreWeave's got a tremendous amount of the business as well, but the way that CoreWeave's going to have to reload their capital expenditure, that's going to be an issue coming up. Can't deny the market, though. Market's never wrong, and the market loves CoreWeave right now. We jump over to GameStop. Yeah, they catch a bid on May 22nd. I think that's when they said that they were going to start trying to get into crypto. GameStop basically flat right now. All right, we're coming into the open, folks. Market's in the green. We got the S&P up by 5. Apple shares basically flat right now. We jump to Amazon. It's been on quite a bid recently. Yeah, you'd like to see a little bit more volume coming into these highs. Not quite as drastic as when I was looking at some of those airlines, but you see the volume we had on these initial highs, right? May 12th and May 13th. 56 million and 75 million on Amazon. Last couple days, 39 million and 38. That's not how you want to break those highs. We need a little bit more strength in this market. All right, folks, stay tuned. Coming back for the opening bell. Don't go away.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 9, NASDAQ 100 up by 28. We got the Dow down 7, Russell up by 9. We jump over to the gold contract this morning, catching a little bit of a bid on some dollar weakness. We got gold up by $11 right now, trading at 33.65. That's off the lows overnight of about 33.20. The 10-year, 110.12 right now, up by 7 ticks. And yeah, let's jump around to some of the equities. Apple shares catching a little bid, back in the green, up by 0.2%. Amazon basically flat this morning. You jump over to Disney shares, up by 0.3%. Pretty remarkable to close that Hulu deal. They're paying Comcast $400+ million in a final valuation for Hulu out there, but Disney catching a little bit of a bid. 116 is the price, and you're pushing the highs of December at 118.63 right there. See how we're coming in with some volume. Yeah, November you accelerate on earnings. May you accelerate on earnings. Yeah, we can blow right past these highs. Not a lot of volume, depending on how we catch things. 115.95 on Disney. Jump around to Netflix shares. Man, look at this equity. It doesn't stop, man. On a volume basis, above 1,200, volume's drying up, though. Yeah, look at this volume on Netflix. Pay attention to these volume numbers, folks, okay? We always talk a lot of the fundamental stories here. We talk the news, okay, but it all comes back to price and volume. That's the core of everything I do, built off my dad. And look at these volume numbers, man. The last 3 weeks, as we inch higher above 1,200, you can't find a real bid. 12 million, 12 million, and 12 million compared to 23, 19, 19. And that's not cherry picking earnings. That's not cherry picking the tariff volatility. That's the 3 weeks in May that you can't even compare to on a strong equity like Netflix. All right, Mickey D's trading a little bit lower. $301.29. Yeah. See how the volume comes in. You had a nice little bid yesterday on volume. Check that out. More than 4 million. McDonald's is a very strong stock on a longer term. I mean, look at this thing. You're going back to 2015, folks. It's one of the best uptrend channels out there. So yeah, you're looking to get in. Look for the bottom of that channel, about 280. We're backing down a bit. But McDonald's has some strong volume. Last week, not so much, but that's how you want to see it. You know, you push 320 and you do it. Now that's a monthly. Yeah, facing some heat anywhere above. It's like the highs of this bar about 311. You're facing resistance. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got going on. So, talking treasuries. The popular U.S. Treasury bet. How about the next pain trade? Yeah, maybe. And this is investors betting that yields on long-dated treasuries will keep rising faster than those on the short notes. Well, you have the potential to get burned. There's the curve, okay? Steepeners are big, but not as beautiful. The pain trade in the current market set up. And yeah, we'll see. We're at 85 basis points right now, and that's the gap between the 5 and the 30-year. Now, we've been living in interesting times here, going through COVID with 0%, etc. The 30-year was at 5.15. We backed off to about 5% now. And yeah, every auction now feels like a risk event. A good auction's probably par for the course, but a weak auction really set. And get ready for it, because we have auctions, and we got a 30-year tomorrow. All right, get the market giving it up a little bit. S&P's up by 7. And I'll really be watching the volume today. You know, it's amusing as I open I opened my browser early this morning, right? And I'm seeing headlines like this, which are investors await details on the U.S.-China trade talks progress. I mean, it's almost what we were doing yesterday in the same reprieve, right? I was like, this the same headline? It could be. This is the second day of talks. Discussions are going well. A lot of time together. It's ambiguous as you can be. We'll see if they come. All right, we get the Dow rolling over a little bit. Check in on some retailers. Walmart shares up by 0.2% right now. Procter & Gamble flat. Jump over to Target shares. There you go, Target catching a bid by 1.6%. I'll tell you, folks, when you go into, it's either Nintendo or Target. Okay, you take a look at this scenario. Nintendo's coming up with the Switch 2. Target provides a pretty good environment for retail experience, right? More enjoyable than probably being inside Walmart. And so the Switch 2 is out, and you would think that they have the ability to try the Switch 2. Now, they're going to have a little bit of a supply problem in terms of in the beginning of their launch in the console, they're going to have a limited quantity of consoles. But what I'd like to do is go to Target and check out the Switch 2, or go to Best Buy. All right, Best Buy comes into this as well. Listen to the story, because this is real. These are the types of stories that I try and listen to, okay? When I hear myself and I have user experiences, and then I progress that across the spectrum, okay? So all I'm trying to do is see if stores potentially have a Switch 2 that's available that people can try. Now, that's probably going to be very busy as well, people trying it out. Target used to have, we're all familiar, right? You go through the electronics section, whether it's at Target, Walmart, Best Buy, you can try out the game systems, right? Target used to have one for the Switch. They took that out about a month ago, the Switch 1. Okay, they're going to put the Switch 2 in there to give everybody a chance to try it. They still haven't put a Switch 2 in. The kicker of this is that it goes even worse in Target, right? Is that the PlayStation that's in Target as well, that doesn't work either. It's a joke. In terms of, they should have working things. Kids like it. It sets up this thing. But just focusing on the Switch, okay? So Target says, nah, they haven't set up the Switch 2 yet. The vendor who sets it up, they haven't set it up yet. Now, there's been reports that Nintendo was holding off. They didn't even send the Switch 2 to gaming publications as early as may happen with some consoles. And indications were that they were probably fine-tuning the Switch 2 up until the very last second. So they didn't send them out early because they were literally tweaking the console, still the development. That could be why they're not available. But you launch a whole console. Target doesn't have Switch 2 set up where I could just go try it to build demand. And then the kicker about Best Buy is, at least I could call Target and I ask them, and they tell me. I talk to the electronics division. They say, no, it's not set up. I know what you're talking about. You cannot physically call a Best Buy store right now. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I was trying to reach a physical store. You get sent to a call. You cannot reach a physical store. We'll finish that up. I said, that is wild, man. Here I am calling the store. I want to talk to a human in the store. No, can't do it. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Taking a look at Best Buy. Markets in the green. Best Buy up by about 0.8%. And yeah, so it's interesting, right? All I wanted to do was call Best Buy to speak with a person in the store and ask them if they had a switch display available for people to try out. You can't do that. You can't reach a person at a Best Buy store to ask them anything anymore. I find that remarkable when you have people asking questions, but they don't want to deal with phone calls. They don't want to pay for it. You go to a call center, and, you know, it's all about what goes to the bottom line, okay? But I found that one very frustrating as a consumer that's willing to walk into your store to try a device that costs $500, I believe, and you won't let me speak to a human on site to ask them if I can actually show up. And there's no way I was going to believe anything the call centers were telling me, right? They have no idea what's actually going on in the store. So you have Best Buy trying to hold promotions, and you can't speak to someone in the store about the promotion they're trying to have. Think about the core element on a longer-term basis for that. It's a problem, man. When we take a look at Best Buy stock, it's a problem. How do you compete? I don't know how you compete when that's the case, right? It's all about being able to go to the store, try it. Remember, the original problem Best Buy had is everybody went to their store to try out their TVs and then bought it on Amazon. Are you old enough to remember those days, folks? That's probably these days, right? From 2010 when you were trading at 45 down to the lows of 11. And then they rejuvenated themselves and made it up to 140. There's still a truth to that going on. You know, as in there's still people still enjoy that. They've just begun to compete on price. They now realize they have to, but they still serve the purpose of being one of the institutions you go to check out the great electronics, right? The television, home sound systems, all the stuff they have. You can't even call somebody in the store because they're trying to save money, and every phone call goes off to a call center. I was amazed. And here I am trying to come in there to try a switch. And yeah, of course, you know, there's a chance I buy it. All right. I'm not going in there with the plan. I just want to buy it. I just want to try it. But of course there's a plan. And I may buy it. All right. We'll keep our eye on the volume on the S&Ps right now. We've already done 221,000 contracts. That's a quarter of the volume we did all day yesterday. Now, you always get a huge start in the first 15 minutes. But yes, we'd like to see that volume rise to catch a bid as we come into coming into the end of the week and just that 6,000 price point. We're trading at 6,019 right now. And yeah, when I was talking about Disney, so, I mean, quite a price tag for Hulu, man. Disney to pay Comcast, 438.7. Now, this was known, okay? They were dealing with this. They initially paid 8.6 billion to Comcast, okay? And they're buying the remaining stake to take full ownership of that. What the heck they're going to do with it, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's serving the purpose that it once had. In 2023, Disney announced it intended to buy Comcast's 33% stake. At the time, Disney paid $8.6 billion, which reflected Hulu's guaranteed minimum value of $27.5, okay? Following the initial payment, they entered into an appraisal process. I got to love how that. I mean, can you imagine? You know how we deal with appraisals in housing, right? And appraisals in housing can be a big problem, folks. They can. When the market is going up, appraisals aren't able to comp what the house is actually worth because they're being conservative and going off comps in the neighborhood, which are a lagging indicator, right? If the market's going up, especially if the market's flat, appraisals are easy because it's not changing. You take a comp, you can do it. When markets are fluctuating, they're very difficult. Imagine the appraisal of something like an entity like Hulu. Yeah. Disney will record the payment in its net income attributable to non-controlling interests. Nonetheless, that deal's done. Hulu had more than 50 million subscribers as of March 29th. I wonder how many of those are on the bundle. I don't know who's paying for Hulu by itself, and Hulu's got some. But I originally had it in the triple with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, the triple package they offer. I think I watched Handmaid's Tale a few times on Hulu. Not much else going on there. Although, you know what? You know what I did watch on there, I believe? The Aaron Hernandez documentary. Or the one that was on FX, right? FX Hulu. Jump over to Disney. Yeah, challenging those highs. Up by 0.8% right now. Jumping around some equities with action. Tesla shares up by 0.9% right now. We jump over to NVIDIA. Let's check out the chip stocks. Boy, AMD is strong, man. Here's a perfect case of what you want to see when you trade. Look at this. Look at now. Yeah, look at the one day you're going into, right? May 14th. You do 86 million. And that's the day you're getting above. But that's a nice sign of strength no matter what. And this is where it's an art, not a science, folks. Okay. Yeah. Would it be good to take out this day of volume on May 14th with more than 86 million? Of course it would. The second best thing is taking it out on the most volume that we've had since that day. Tremendous amount of volume yesterday. You accelerate higher on AMD and you close well above that close. We closed there at 117 yesterday. Excuse me, we opened there at 119.83. That's the top of the bar. And yeah, you open underneath that, you close at 121.73. AMD continuing to look strong, and you're going to break away now from this area. All right, you want to see some action, folks? We talk some money. You're looking to gamble. Stock market, it's the biggest casino in the world, they say, right? Well, one of the second biggest casinos in the world's Las Vegas. And they got the World Series of Poker going on. And this gentleman here, Chang Lee, he just won a poker tournament that cost $25,000 to enter. It had 392 players, creating a prize pool of $9.2 million. And he won it for $1.9 million. And these poker players, man, sometimes. And this gentleman talked about he flies from South Korea to L.A., gets a connecting flight in L.A. Yeah, I was quite tired. I had a sore head. 4 days ago, I came to the U.S. to register for this WSOP game. I wanted to win it. I really studied GTO, which is Game Theory Optimization, or Optimal. You GTOs out there. I was super tired because it's 15 hours from South Korea, and I needed to change in LA. The first day of the tournament, I got super coolered 3 times. He busted out, lost 25 grand. I believe you get 1 rebuy opportunity. He rebought at the end of day 1, and he goes on to win it for 1.9 million. So a lot of these players actually end up spending 25 or 50 grand, 2 buy-ins on some of these tournaments, $25,000 poker tournament. And this is not the main event that gets all the notoriety. That one is at the end of the series. About $10,000 to enter. They get about 8,000 or 9,000 players for this. This is just a preliminary event for a World Series of Poker bracelet. 1.9 million. Second place, 1.2. Third, 894. We're coming back with equities, folks. Don't go away.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 10 points right now, trading at 6,020. And yeah, keep your eye on that volume, as I keep saying. Very light volume yesterday, lowest volume day of the year on the S&Ps, and I believe the NASDAQ 100 as well. And we'll see where that volume takes us today. We jump over to yields. The 10-year, a little bit lower yield right now. What are we pushing? Probably under 4.45 right now. You're talking about a 10-year that's not up by 9 ticks. Yeah, 4.44 on the 10-year. And we got the dollar right now. Look at that little candle. All right, geez, talk about pushing lows, man. You got these lows out here of 97.92, so basically 98 on the dot. And we got a series of lower lows, lower highs coming at you. We reject that higher price as well. And look at that action on a 5-minute, man. We're coming into right where we were, breaking the lows of last night, and you got lows out there about 98.82 in the dollar. You got dollar weakness right now. That's helping the gold contract a bit. Gold up by $12. Check back on silver. Let's take a look at silver. Yeah, volume drying up a little bit above this 36 price point. You make that move on silver on Thursday initially. I guess the real move right there was June 2nd, of course, but you break above the highs on Thursday, the 5th, and since then we're trailing off a bit, but very strong volume on those 3 days. Jump back to copper, HG. Yeah, sitting at 491. We jump around to some of the equities. Harmony up by 1% right now. Kamiko finally giving it back. Quite a day yesterday. Not sure if there's any headline news, but folks, if you're in this thing on the short term, all right, we've been talking about it. Be careful, man. You're up here above the highs that we had, and look how often you've traded higher. You come back, you test that 35 price point. You back this up on a monthly, you look at the volatility you can have in some of these equities, right? It's been quite a run as you break those highs. And yeah, you've done it with some volume, but be careful when you have these types of returns, man. I mean, Kamiko, long term, love this equity. But I loved them a lot more when it was trading at 35 bucks less than 2 months ago. All right? Folks, thanks so much. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman, he's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour. We got our man Steve Rhodes after that. Fast Market at 12. Larry Pesavento live at 1, and I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.